Hello, good day. My name is Prince, and being your lecturer throughout this home care training course. I first would like to apologize for the delay this week. Have been full of lots of back and forth with outages and unplanned or unforeseen disruptions, and I really want to apologize. So this is what I'm going to do. That of this week and that of next week is going to be given out today, so that you get everything. So that doesn't be like there is a delay. There is a short of a week. So that of this week and that of next week are all going to be given today. We are for this week and next we are going to look at human growth and development. How do people grow? What are some of the challenges that are associated with growth? As a caregiver, one of the things you have to note is that even though most of your patients may be aged or seniors or the elderly, there are quite a number of your patients. Quite a number of your patients are going to be non-aged. Probably they are people who are not old but may have some challenges. So how will you determine that this person is having a challenge, and how do you come in? We are going to understand all this from this very lecture. So what do we mean by the word growth? Growth is when you talk about growth, it's when one increase in I'll say that increase in body size, height, when one is increasing. So we say that there's the physical changes that are measured and that occur in a steady and orderly manner. So growth is the physical changes. It's not only in height but enlargement, or you will see that there is also increase in size in the whole body. Other organs also increase. Your head become bigger when one is growing. Your head is not as you were born with. Every part of your body take part in growth. Every part of your body take part in growth. Growth is talks more about physical increase in size, and development is more of psychological and social functioning. So you can say that development relates more with psychological and social changes. So in terms of humans or dealing with humans, we talk about development as in when there is an improvement or increase in your how one is able to relate and how one is able to think. That is more of that is not something that is tangible. But growth, if someone is growing, you can even see from afar. Why can see you? Why since you like you've grown tall, you've grown big, increase in body size. But development is more of psychological. Growth and development affect the entire person, and it starts right from fertilization to death. Right from the time the sperm of your father and the egg of your mother met, the growth and development starts. It starts right from there. It starts right from the womb. So the time you pass away from earth. Let's look at some of the principles of growth and development. It occurs from the moment of fertilization, right? From the time the egg and the sperm meets, growth starts until death, and it's occurs in a particular direction. When you talk of growth, it can be retardation, or can be decrease, or can be increment. But growth of human beings actually occur in one direction. Probably you are increasing in body size, but to get to a point that growth results in decreasing in some body parts, especially when you grow. And it also occurs in a sequence or order or pattern. certain developmental tasks must be completed during each stage. So it it development actually comes with, if a child is, let's say, 1 year, you don't expect the child to be able to tell you, to be able to reason, to be able to decide which school he wants to go, to be able to decide so many things, tell you when he want to poo poo. But if someone is 13 years old and is not able to tell you when she want to wee or poo poo, you'll be a little bit shocked. So every stage in life have its own developmental milestones, and the rate of growth and development is uneven. Even though every stage has some key developmental milestone, you also bear in mind that growth, how fast growth occurs, is uneven. It is not under any particular pace that that you even want to expedite it or increase the speed or something. It's actually uneven, and each stage of growth and development has its own characteristics and developmental tasks. Each stage of growth has its own characteristics and developmental tasks. We will try as much as possible to go through the stages in human life, and you start first with infancy to 1 year. What do occur? You know, infancy to 1 year, that's when you are born. You first came to the earth, and okay, let me just go by the slide. The neonatal period of infancy is the first 4 weeks after birth. So when we say someone is a neonate, probably may mean it's neonate. Neonate is the first 1 month of the person's life, is what we call the neonatal period. The average newborn is 45 centimeters to 60 centimeters long, and weighs about 2.5 kilograms to 3.5 kilograms. So if a child is born and the child weighs 1 kilogram, even without having a medical mind, or you'll be able to tell that, oh, this child is having is underweight or something. Or at times you say that the child is so small, at times you get to say, oh, the child is so big. So this will tell you that before you can make a statement that someone is so small or someone is so big, there's a normal range that every child should be when he or she is born. That's what we can call normal. That's there is a particular range that every child at least must be within. That's what we can call normal. You are saying that the birth weight of a child doubles within the first 5 to 6 months, and it triples by the first birthday. So these days, as a caregiver, probably if you are taking care of a child, should inform you. So if you have a child who was born with birth weight of 2.5 kilograms, and after 5 months the child is 3.5 kilograms, or the child is 3 kilograms, it should tell you that something is going on, something is wrong. Either the child might have been born with a birth deformity, or probably there's something environmentally, probably the person is not being fed well, not being taken care of well. It should inform you something. And we also say that by the first birthday, or by 1 year, the weight of the child should be 3 times what he or she came with. So if the child was born with a birth weight of 3, you're expecting the child to be around 9 kilograms. So this should help you as a caregiver. And that is the same thing when you send your child for weighing. That's what they look at, and that one has been written, and they normally plot the child's weight. They keep telling you, oh, probably you have to start doing this, feed the person well, do this, do that, because the child's weight is coming down and it is not really good. So this topic we are looking at, growth and development, is going to help us. It's going to guide our care that we give. It's going to be the red flags, raise the red flags for us when you are giving care. Let's look at, for the first 1 month, infants can hold their heads up. 1 month, and the child should be able to raise the heads up. Before 1 month, if you carry a child, the child cannot, most children cannot raise or hold their head up. You see that the head dangles to the side, and also can lift and turn their heads when lying on their stomach. So for the first 1 month, the child should be able to lift and turn their heads when lying on their stomach. It's a developmental milestone that you have to watch out in case you are taking care of a newborn baby. If the child is not being able to catch up, then probably there should be something. Most of the birth deformities can be corrected when they are seen early. On the second month, the child, they can smile and follow objects with their eyes. So they will be able to, you tackle them and they are actually smiling within the first 2 months. Then they should be able to follow objects with their eyes. The only thing is that when the thing is away from them, they don't remember that there is something that they were following. But if you have something in your hand and they are attracted to it, if you move the thing a little bit away, they should be able to follow it. It's a key developmental milestone. It's a key developmental. Within 1 month, a child, even when his attention gets to something, you move it. You don't expect the child to be moving towards where you move the thing. But for the first 2 months, you should see that some of these things is going on. On the third month, they can raise their hands and shoulders when lying on their stomach. Not only their heads. First month is their head, but third month, after 3 months, they should be able to raise their head and their stomach when lying on their stomach. And they can sit for a short while when supported and can hold a rattle. They can sit for a short while when supported. By the fourth month, the child should be able to roll over. The child should be able to roll over. They sit up if supported. They may sleep all night. They sit up if supported. So you sit the child up, you put some pillows around the child, you see that the child is sitting, and they may sleep all night. Before then they sleep probably after some few hours they wake up looking for to be fed or to be held or something, and before they go back to sleep again. But by the fourth month, a child should be, sometimes even if the child will wake up, will be only once, then should be only once or probably twice. But before then, you see that children wake up often. Before the fourth month, they wake up often. And if you have a child that is waking up a lot at night, who is more than 4 months old, probably there is something. So these things should just guide you, support you, so that you understand the very person that you are granting care or giving care to is there to guide you, but it is not there to police any child that you are not able to roll over by fourth month. So you are this, you are that. These milestones are just to guide you as a caregiver. If your child is 4 months, get to know that if you put the child on a bed and you don't put anything by the side, the child can fall from the bed. The child can fall from the bed or can fall from a chair if you put him in a stuffing chair and you don't put anything to chop or to block the child. He can fall. So it should also guide you as a caregiver. Then the moral and the routine reflexes have also disappeared. They are able to tears are shed when crying, able to bring out tears when they cry. By the 5th month, the child should be able to grasp objects and play with their toes. Able to grab objects, hold the objects, and they are able to play with their toes. And the teeth start to come through. So if you're a mother and you are breastfeeding, you get to see that the small teeth, they start using it a little bit, and they may be biting you small. Your child is not wicked. And on this, just as he has gotten some sharp thing, he wants to test it. On the 6th month, usually they have 2 lower front teeth and start to chew and bite fingerfuls. On the 6th month, you're able to chew and bite fingerfuls. They can hold a bottle for feeding and can sit alone for a short time. So these are the few developmental milestones that children go through from the 1st to the 6th month. On the 7th month, the upper teeth start to come out. Babies respond to their names. They respond to their names. You call him Kofi, he just at times 10. And they are able to say dada and few words, at times mama, and they show a fear of strangers. They begin to know whom their parents, they begin to know their parents and those around them. They become familiar and they're able to determine strangers and get a little bit more afraid of strangers. And the 8th month, they are able to stand when holding on to something and may react to the word no. They react to the word no. They react to the word no. So you deny the child something, you see that the child starts crying. Infants at this stage do not like to be dressed or have diapers changed. They don't want you to worry them. They don't want you to worry them. When at times they are also playful. So it's very around the 9 months they crawl and more upper teeth continue to appear. On the 10th month, most infants can walk around while holding on to furniture. So, and they understand words such as bye bye, mama, and dada. So now they don't just pronounce it; they understand when they say mama, they know that it is their mother they are referring to. When they say dada, they know that they are papa they are referring to. When they say bye bye, they know that they are waving you when you are going. So they start understanding. So if you have a child that is not meeting some of these milestones, a child is 11 months old and he cannot even say dada, not talk of the understanding. You should be able to find out what is actually happening. Is it development? Is it social? Is it environmental? Or it's having some birth abnormalities? On 11 months, may begin to take steps and can hold a crayon. So many of us start to walk at 1 year of age, and they can hold a cup for drinking. Their grasping reflexes becomes more and more built up, and they know more words. They can say no on first year. Now they don't just respond to no, but they can say no and shake their heads for no when you ask them. That time is when you ask, please, will you share whatever you have with me? They will just tell you no. And they are also very possessive too. So what are some of the things that the caregiver should be able to do when you are working around babies? Make sure that the baby is surrounded by safe and interesting things. Let the baby be surrounded by safe. Provide pictures and mobiles for the child to look at. Pictures for child, interesting things, and provide music, the sound of your voice or a rattle for the child to listen to, and provide soft toys for the baby to feel, and teething rings or plastic cups for the baby to hold and bite. It helps. And crying is the baby's way of getting your attention. So know that if your child is crying, he just wants to get your attention. You should never, if you leave your child to be crying, all these things affect them in later life. Know that is their way of calling you that, oh, I need you, mama, I have poo-poo, I have wee-wee, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, come to my attention. So it lets you know that he or she needs something. So you have to go to the child and try to figure out what is actually happening. You cannot spoil a baby by responding to his or her needs. Get to know that when you respond to a baby's needs, at times they start crying. You're like, oh, if I go and respond to every cry, he's going to be a spoiled child. But it doesn't happen like that. And when you respond to the child, you are simply teaching the child that the world is a safe and a consistent place. Imagining you coming from a lonely place where you are there alone, nothing worries you. You come to the earth here, you need something, nobody is coming to your attention. The children are able to trust. It's rather build their trust when you are able to respond to their needs. They cry and you attend to them. They get to know that, oh, this place is a safe and this is a safe place, and you are also helping the baby develop a sense of trust. I think I've spoken about that. Also, as a caregiver, help babies learn new things. help babies learn new things. So to develop their language skills, talk to the baby. And even when they cannot speak back, talk to them. Say encouraging things to them. They can hear you. They can hear you. Speak to them. And that's how the child will be able to even say some of the words that we said they should be able to say by 11 and 12 months. Speak to your baby, smile with your baby, let your baby feel your voice, and carrying on, cooing, giggling, and single conversation. So you should be able to imitate their sounds and also have conversations with them, and learn to read the baby as a caregiver. As you get to know the child, you'll be better able to understand what he or she is communicating. Every baby is unique. You have to know that every baby is unique. So learn to read every baby, and so that if a child turns away or seems upset, it may indicate overtiredness, overstimulation, or perhaps that the environment is too noisy. So try to understand your baby, try to understand their actions. It really helps. Okay, so this is about the toddlerhood, 1 to 3 years. So for toddlerhood, so we've talked about infancy to 1 year. Now we are talking about 1 to 3 years. Sorry, the heading wasn't there. So the main changes you should be expecting from your child during this period is, one, the ability for them to move about, and walk increases during their first to their third year on 8th year, and the child also ventures farther away from the primary caregiver. So they like to do things alone. They discover that some things can be done without the caregiver. So they like to do things. They don't play around their caregivers or their parents. They like to play alone or with, and by 3 years, the toddler can run, jump, climb, ride a tricycle, and walk up and down the stairs. So they are able to do all these things, and they progress from eating with their fingers to using a spoon. They're able to use a spoon at this particular age, and they can drink from cups. They can scribble, build towers with blocks. That's the things that you used to learn, and string beads and 10 book pages. Able to 10 book pages, and right or left-handedness is seen during the 2nd year. You're able to see that the child is right-handed or left-handed during the 2nd year, and bowel training usually is complete at about 2.5 years. You're able to tell you, or probably if you start training, doing the bowel training, putting them on their chamber pots every morning, and probably in the evening, they're able to hold up. They're able to tell you when they want to poo-poo, and they get aligned some of these times that to do. That's what we call the bowel training. They get aligned to it by the 2.5 years. In this age, because of diapers or some of these things, bowel training and other things, in the morning some people leave their children to hang around till they poo in their diapers before they change it. It's not really good, and it affects the child, both physically or medically, then psychologically, and even when the child grows, it has some impact on their lifestyle. And bladder control during the day occurs before bladder control at night. They will tell you in the day that, Mama, I want to wee wee, but at night probably they may be urinating they may bed wet. And for bladder training, it normally complete about 3 years of age. Speech and language skills also increase. They're able to say more words and understand more words. They also play more during this stage. The child play alongside other children but does not play with them. He will play at where children are playing, but he wouldn't play with them actually. There are two different things. They were playing alone, but they like to play with alongside where children are playing. And temper tantrums and saying no are common during this stage. Later till they are angry, later then they will never want to give you whatever they have. And then they tend to venture away from their primary caregiver. They have touched on that. So caregivers hints. What do you do when you are a caregiver and end up taking care of a child around 1 to 3 years? Play with the child. Begin setting limits. Play with the child and begin setting limits. You should be able to tell the child that when it's a no, you should be able to let the child understand that this is a no. You are not allowing him to enter this room. You know, when he enters this room, it wouldn't be good for him or her. So you should be able to set that limits. Certain things like knives, when they come, it comes so handy to them. Take it away. Even though they may cry, let them know. And maintain the family routine and prepare for outing. You know, this time around, prepare to send your child out. It really helps a lot. Prepare for outing. Safety tips. If you are in a child's home, ensure that sharp and dangerous objects are out of reach. Sharp and dangerous objects are out of reach. And that cleaning products and medicines are also locked up. Your parazones and things, they are locked up. It's mostly at this stage that they drink some of these things, they injure themselves with sharp objects, they get burned with hot water, fire and all that thing. Also, electrical outlets must have plug covers. If not, they will put things in it and it will give them electrical shocks. And that the child is never left alone near water. Don't leave the child alone near water. They are very adventurous at this stage. So anything they come across, they are very curious and they may end up touching or having something to do with it. The kitchen, make sure that kitchen does not have paws hanging off the counter or easily accessible appliance that the toddler can play with. And also that you also have to make sure that their toys are safe. In the kitchen, electrical gadgets, wires, other things, that nothing should be dangling around. If you have a child, you ensure that all these things you ensure these safety protocols to make sure that they don't injure themselves with some of these things. If you are taking the child out in a vehicle, never leave the child alone in the vehicle. A golden rule of thumb is to never leave a toddler unattended. 1 to 3 years, you should always have your eyes on them. Wherever they are, you can do your thing, but your eyes should never be off from these people. Your eyes should never be off from this. So these are some few tips. So today we started development, growth and development. We talk about infancy, children, their developmental milestone, what you should do as a caregiver, and we've also talked about toddlers 1 to 3 years, what they should do, what you should also do as a caregiver. Thank you. Your questions and contributions are welcome.